Director, MPD. Our launch team is ready to proceed with the exception of flight. It still needs a little bit more time to make his evaluations on RTLS flight.
All right.
I copy that. I'll do my poll to sign.
Fixing to launch
engineer. Verify no constraints for launch.
Very last space shuttle that
Thank you, Steve. Safety, mission assurance.
See if I can get my VLC going back again.
Let's get mission assurance at Bill, Mike. Thank you, sir. Payload launch manager.
This is the very last space shuttle mission. I'm just
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate that.
hope everything goes wonderful. Godspeed to that crew. Astronauts are not heroes. A lot of guys watch football, which is fine, and basketball like astronauts do.
Thank you, Andy.
But I'm a space shuttle watch. I'm an armchair astronaut.
When you get final go from flight here,
I've watched every mission just about. I'd say at least 95%.
Air to ground 1. Let's go. Okay, Fergie.
It's a shame that they're shutting this program down, in my
So on
opinion.
behalf of the greatest team in the world, good luck to you and your crew on the final flight of this true American icon. And so for the final time, Fergie, Doug,
I'm trying to get my VLC playing.
have a little fun up there.
Yeah, it keeps crashing on me.
Hey, thanks to you and your team, Mike. Until the very end, you all made it look easy. Brazil is always going to be a reflection of what a great nation can do when it dares to be bold and commits to follow through. We're not ending the journey today, Mike. We're completing a chapter of a journey that will never end. You and the thousands of men and women who gave their hearts, souls, and their lives for the cause of exploration and for you. Brazil is always going to be a reflection of what a great nation can do when it dares to be nation and it is to follow through with Atlantic. The journey today, Mike, was a
Thank you, sir. We'll get you going here in a couple of minutes.
MTD, Houston flight on 212.
Go ahead, Mike.
For the record, I'm go.
NCD copies and launch director, that is our entire launch to the ready to lead over time. I copy that. The launch manager going to give their hearts, souls, and their lives for the cause of exploration and for U.S. history. Launch manager.
There she is, sitting out there on the pad, the very last space shuttle mission, and it's been a great time. 30 years now, space shuttle missions, and the last two fails.
And the flight director, we're going to take a waiver to the RTLS forecast, no go.
I'm here to try to record and witness the very last space shuttle mission.
We'll get you going here. The Sunday hours are very low.
And that's Atlantis sitting on the pad, approximately about 10-12 minutes away from launch.
Waiver on the RTLS forecast being no go. So with that, we are clear and working with you to go launch.
Go
Okay,
launch.
thank you, Mike. Appreciate that. And Fergie, you heard those words, so we'll get you going here shortly. Good luck, guys.
Thanks, Mike.
For the record, I'm go.
NCD with that, you are clear to launch and land. NCD copies and launch director, the entire launch team, we are ready to proceed at this time. I copy that. I'm sorry, entire test team, we have 1 minute, 15 seconds of full time remaining here. T-minus 9 minutes before we will pick up the clock. And we do have it clear to pick up the clock at 9.
That's the most advanced piece of technology ever built. And it's a shame to see it retired. I tell you, that's a space cargo truck that takes it. The space station couldn't have been built without it.
ISL. Go ISL. Order activation complete.
I hope everything goes with Godspeed Atlantis. And God is with these people. They're certainly the most brave and patriotic people and dedicated.
This is Shuttle Launch Control, T-minus 9 minutes preparing and 30 seconds remaining in this planned built-in hold.
It's going to be out of work. And this program couldn't have existed without each and every one of them that does the
We'll pick up
job.
the countdown in 15 seconds.
If our government was running
Picking up in 10 seconds.
as efficient as NASA was,
The countdown clock will resume on my mark. 3,
we'd
2, 1.
be 9 minutes away from launch.
T-minus 9 waiver counter to us forecast.
The 11 sequence has been initiated.
Ground launch sequencer will be checking over 1,000 parameters between now and when it hands off to Atlantis' onboard computers at T-minus 31 seconds.
If only our politicians in Washington, D.C. were half as efficient as NASA, and they're dedicated
And from 31
employees,
seconds on,
all the
Atlantis onboard
astronauts.
computers will be completely in control of the countdown and for main engine start.
I'm 60, almost
And
61
it
years
will
old.
Assess in the last 6.6 seconds whether the engines are up to full thrust.
I think can I zero in on this one a little bit.
Connect the central functions to fuel cells for your checklist.
There you go. Still recording. Oops. Forgot I'm on my now.
Copy.
She's beautiful.
In about 20 seconds, we'll be retracting the crew orbiter access arm.
There's 4 people aboard and 4 astronauts. 1 lady and 3 gentlemen. If you follow the space shuttle missions, you'll know who they are. The brave souls.
Yeah, let's just go over the access arm retract.
Atlantis, this OTC, this day has been over 30 years in the making. There have been many fabulous missions throughout the years. On behalf of KSC launch teams, past and present, we salute the entire astronaut corps for their dedication, not only for our expanded knowledge of the universe, but for the improvements you have contributed to on Earth. Have an excellent mission and Godspeed.
Yeah, fantastic words, Roberta. Thank you very much. Thank you, your team. Thank you, sir.
That's
Orbiter Test Conductor Roberta Wyrick from United Space Alliance. T-minus 5 minutes, the pilot will be instructed to start the orbiter auxiliary power units.
6:30 to go.
JRPS OTC, start APU display recorder.
The CRPS recorders are running.
PLC OTC, perform APU pre-start.
Yeah, I get a little nervous. I imagine a lot of people do. Checking the videos. Can I get the whole screen? Past it. 5:15, about 13, 12, 11. Yeah, I get a little nervous.
Coming up on T-minus 5 minutes in 3, 2, 1. T-minus 5 minutes and counting.
TLC OTC, perform APU start. CDR OTC, reconfigure heater.
Wow.
Solid rocket booster safe and arm devices are now being armed.
Copy, 3 good APU.
Come on, everybody. Good job. Protect that crew. Need more like you, sir. Been an inspiration. Space shuttle program.
Next milestone is a check of the orbiter's flight controls.
TLS is go for first sequence 4.
These people, all of them, are my heroes.
And there will be a steering check of Atlantis' 3 main engines.
Oh, look at this. Watch those engines, they'll gimbal, swivel around to test. right before they fire them. Wow. All that power waiting to be launched. So beautiful. Gimbal away. Near the gimbal and lock. There it was. We're fixing to see the most human-made
We'll find out that the main engines are in the
power
start
on
position.
planet Earth. Remarkable technology.
Kilo System for ET, LO2 pressurization.
Gotcha.
Starting now the retraction of the gaseous oxygen vent arm, vent hood.
That's finally telling Atlantis goodbye. Launching into orbit today.
TLC OCC, clear caution warning memory, verify no unexpected errors.
Fuel cells going to internal. External plane camber being activated at this time.
Nose cone retraction.
OTC, PLC, no unexpected errors.
Copy that. Flight crew OCC, close and lock your visors and initiate O2 flow.
That's the word.
T-minus 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Wow. Good
For
land.
ET, LH2 pressurization.
Hope the
Several
batteries
rocket
hold up my
booster cameras
camera.
being activated.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're missing this, you've witnessed history in the passing.
T-minus
Very last minute. Space Shuttle Atlantis. I have to be quiet now because I have to hold my
Sounds the
breath.
pressure
There.
water system is being armed.
They're in orbit. That's about a good 10, 12 minutes away.
T-minus 1 minute.
That's Atlantis. All the gates are on.
The oxygen and liquid hydrogen fill and drain valves are closed. T-minus 40 seconds, handing off to Atlantis' computers at T-minus 31. T-minus 35, 33,
Clock will hold at T-minus 31 seconds due to a fire.
Uh-oh.
and we have had a failure. Brad Watt sequencer.
Uh-oh.
Took off retract system. ESP. Go ahead. Before we need guys to go do the verification for the LCC, please.
Alright, C-Max? It's C-Max. The LCC says we need to verify using a camera, and we're positioning camera 62 right now.
Okay, let us know as soon as 62 is flown over and you can verify LCC for GDA retract, please.
And also, now we're holding here 31 seconds while we get a verification that the GDA has fully retracted for our crew final. This is C-Max. We verify retracted.
Wow. Suspense. Come on. Resume the
Okay, you can
countdown.
verify that it is fully retracted for the instructions that we've been that we developed, correct? That's correct. Alright, and FTE?
And FTE concurs. They satisfy the requirements of GSC 13 prepackaged in CI bill.
Okay, I copy and launch director. Yes, sir, heard all that. Concur. Press on. Alright, very good.
NTDST.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, I need concurrence of GLS and NAP to clear the hold, please.
Very good. And GLS? Do you have concurrence? Go.
Copy that. It's in work.
Thank you. Let us know when that's complete.
Come on. Release the countdown.
Next, you have it in work.
Come on. You only have
Alright, guys.
launch window.
Just remind some folks our launch window full time in 3 minutes and 16 seconds.
ATC, DLS up to 1-2, we're ready to go.
Okay.
All right, very
Run the
good.
clock back.
And launch director with that cleanup, we're going to go ahead and proceed. Yes, sir, please do. All right, and all personnel, we are going to pick up the clock here momentarily. GLS, you can resume the clock on your mark.
Copy that. Countdown clock will resume on my mark. 3, 2, 1, mark.
T-minus
Auto sequence start.
handoff to Atlantis' computers has occurred. Solid rocket booster nozzle steering check and work.
20.
Firing chain is armed.
Right. Go with that.
15.
Go for main engine start. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7,
Like that.
6.
Beautiful cat.
All 3 engines up and burning. 2, 1, 0, and lift off. The final lift off of Atlantis. Shoulders of the space shuttle. America will continue the dream.
Roger roll, Atlantis.
Houston now controlling the flight of Atlantis. The space shuttle spreads its wings one final time for the start of a sentimental journey into history.
Come on, no damage to the tires.
24 seconds into the flight, roll program complete. Atlantis now heads down, wings level on the proper alignment for its 8.5-minute ride to orbit. 4.5 million pounds of hardware and humans taking aim on the International Space Station.
Go with throttle level.
40 seconds into the flight, the 3 liquid fuel main engines throttling back to 72% of rated performance in the pocket, reducing stress on the shuttle as it goes transonic for the final time.
Speed of sound.
Engines now revving up, standing by for the throttle up call.
Atlantis, go and throttle up, no action, DPDT.
Go with throttle up, no action on DPDT.
That call from Capcom Barry Wilmore, a transducer, instrumentation only, no action required. Atlantis now 15 miles in altitude, already 16 miles downrange from the Kennedy Space Center, 1 minute 40 seconds into the flight. Atlantis flexing its muscles one final time. Atlantis traveling almost 2,600 miles an hour, 21 miles in altitude, 24 miles downrange, standing by for solid rocket booster separation. Booster officer confirms staging a good solid rocket booster separation. Guidance now converging. The main engine steering the shuttle on a pinpoint path to its preliminary orbit. 2 minutes, 20 seconds into the flight. Atlantis already traveling 3,200 miles an hour, 35 miles in altitude, 50 miles downrange. The propulsion officer reports the orbital maneuvering system engines have ignited. Atlantis kicking on its afterburners for 1 minute, 23 seconds for the final phase of powered flight.
Atlantis, 2-engine towel.
Come on, baby. Family now. Come on. Don't shut off. Back up.
Four minutes, 20 seconds into the flight. Atlantis currently traveling 5,500 miles an hour, 62 miles in altitude, almost 200 miles down.
Oh, come on, buffer.
4 minutes, 20 seconds into the flight.
Go, boy.
Atlantis currently traveling 5,500 miles an hour, 62 miles in altitude, almost 200 miles downrange. 4 minutes of powered flight remaining. Atlantis speeding straight as an arrow toward its date with the International Space Station Sunday morning. Coming up on the 5-minute mark. Atlantis now traveling 6,500 miles an hour, 66 miles in altitude, 250 miles downrange.
Atlantis, press to ATO. Press ATO.
That call indicating we can make minimal orbital targets in the event of an engine failure. All 3 engines continue to function normally. Atlantis will begin its slow roll to a heads-up position shortly.
No engine ops 3. Engine ops 3.
You know, to the Colombian Challenger mission, they gave their very all.
And the guidance officer here in Mission Control confirms
They're really the ones that made all this possible. And so many people, determined people at NASA, very, very smart people.
And the guidance officer here in Mission Control confirms that the computers are commanding the main engines to swivel.
Delta 104.
Fly, baby.
We've rolled to a heads-up position now, providing better communications to the tracking and data relay satellite system as Atlantis heads uphill. 6 minutes, 20 seconds into the flight.
Climb that hill.
Atlantis, press to MECO.
All right. Press to MECO.
Press to MECO.
That call indicates that we can make our normal orbital cutoff targets in the event of an engine failure. However, all 3 main engines continue to function normally.
Nominal. Boogie, go to plus X, go to pitch.
Pretty soon,
Down plane, go for the plus X, go for the pitch.
pretty soon you're going to see the big
That call
external tank.
indicating that we will be in 1 minute 20 seconds till main engine cutoff. Atlantis traveling 12,000 miles an hour.
12,000 miles per hour already. Rocket people.
The main engines will soon be throttling down once again to limit the stress on the shuttle and its 4 crew members to that of 3 times the effective gravity. Atlantis currently traveling at a speed of more than 4 miles a second.
Takes about 5 miles
1 minute of
to get to
powered
orbit.
flight remaining for Atlantis.
Approximately. Oh, baby.
3 good. 1 minute of powered flight remaining for Atlantis.
I'm trying to record this. I don't know if it...
3 good main engines, 3 good auxiliary power units, 3 good fuel cells. Approaching the 8-minute mark into the flight.
If you enjoy this video, check out my novel.
Atlantis now traveling more than 15,000 miles an hour.
My name's Eric Wilkins. I'm the author of the science fiction novel entitled Ancient Nemesis, Journey to Pluto. Check it out.
8 minutes, 15 seconds into the flight, standing by for main engine cutoff. That'll be followed a few seconds later by the separation of the external fuel tank.
Look at those engines. Almost.
Booster officer confirms main engine cutoff. For the last time, the space shuttle's main engines have fallen silent as the shuttle slips into the final chapter of a storied 30-year adventure. Now standing by for external tank separation.
Green. Green. Oh, it looks nice on the bottom.
Atlantis off the tank. Commander Chris Ferguson will be maneuvering Atlantis now into an orientation to enable Sandy Magnus to capture digital still imagery of the external fuel tank as it drifts away.
OMS 1 is not required. Your preliminary OMS 2 TIG, 37 minutes. 37 minutes, no OMS 1 required, thanks.
bet you that punched a hole in the floor of the clouds. Wow. So much power. All those speckles of particles falling away, ice particles. See, it gets really cold up there quick and hot at the same time. How do I explain that? Well, in the direct sunlight of space, things get hot. You turn them around on the shadow side to get cold. There's no protection. But I'm sure that these towers are a little warm and cooling off. Beautiful. Well, that's the good people in Mission Control, and you can see the shuttle's well out over the Atlantic already.
This is Mission Control Houston. Atlantis safely in its preliminary orbit. Following a flawless launch from the Kennedy Space Center, albeit about 2.5 minutes late at 10:29 a.m. Central Time. The launch slightly delayed while engineers at the Kennedy Space Center confirmed the complete retraction of the gaseous vent arm at the launch pad.
I'm going to restart this in case I had to put it in segments on.
Commander Chris Ferguson is currently oriented